Welcome to our third Thursday hiring event. My name is Brittany Grease and I'm on the Business Solutions team here for Workforce Solutions Tarrant County. I have a teammate on, Stephen Butler. He is also on the Business Solutions team here observing and potentially reading some of the chat questions. And then with no further ado, we have Shinar with Interstate Restoration LLC, first on site. We're going to start with her. So Shinar, if you want to go ahead and share a little bit about your company.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Shinar Haynes. I am the director of the communications or command center for First Onsite. First Onsite is a property restoration company, one of the largest in North America under the First Service Corporation. We have 3 offices in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, 2 in Fort Worth, 1 in Dallas. Our Dallas office handles they actually do the field service techs and project managers work out of that office. And then the other 2 offices are our command center here in Fort Worth and an administrative office in Fort Worth as well. We are hiring for numerous positions from financial to field service technicians, as well as our contact support center. And so we look forward to speaking with you guys and answering any questions that you may have regards to our open positions. Thank you so much.
Shinar, can you tell us a little bit about what people can expect during your interview process?
The interview process is generally a person will apply online to a website, and then the manager or director involved in the division that they applied for will reach out to them and set up a panel interview process, which will be a structured interview process where answer a few questions, get to know you as an individual and what you bring to the table, as well as allow you to ask us some questions about what we're looking for, what types of the jobs and expectations that we have. And then if everything goes well, we are an international company, so we do have HR folks all over the country. So you may be reached out by an HR person in Colorado, but they will reach out to you and let you know where you are in the hiring process and then move you forward from there.
Can you follow up with what your onboarding process looks like?
The onboarding. Someone asked the question, what's my company? It's First Onsite, what you see here in the back. Again, property restoration company. Onboarding is typical drug test, preliminary background test, as well as the normal I-9, birth certificate, social security, just the normal things. It is all done virtually with the exception of the very last part, which is verification of your ID, which is done through a notary. So you'll meet up with a notary at a place where you guys agree to, and they will sign off on the paperwork. But everything else on the onboarding process is done virtually until your first day. No, none of the positions are remote outside of the sales positions. Our sales positions are remote because our sales folks travel quite a bit. But the jobs that we're looking for right now in the command center, and of course, obviously field service technician is going to be on site doing reparations and for different levels of construction work. The positions open are numerous. As I mentioned, we have positions open here in the command center, which is a call center type environment, as well as a project management type of environment, but they're all desk jobs handling the various losses that we receive, the various work orders that are requested for property restoration throughout the country. And so we are centralized here in Fort Worth, but we would handle the work orders throughout the country. But these are desk positions here at the command center. As far as the Farmer Branch or Dallas Center, those are field service type positions. So they are actually on site doing mold remediation, cleaning up water, if someone has a busted pipe, removing, damaged drywall, doing asbestos assessments. So we do a numerous amount of property restoration and mitigation services. And so on our website, firstonsite.com, it's very basic. At the top, it says careers. If you go on there and you narrow it down to Texas, unless you're willing to move, because we have jobs all over the country, and you find a job wherever it is that you like to work, and you can apply from there.
Shinar, so what would a career path look like with you guys?
Depending on where you're coming in, for example, in the command center, you can come in as an agent. Once you get about 6 months to a year under your belt, maybe even less, depending on your prior experience, you can move over into what we call our communications division, which they handle the next step with the property management losses and work orders that we do. And then the next progression would be to be a project manager or project director in the command center, handling large clients. We have large national clients that we do property restoration and respond to. As far as the field service technicians, the entry level is the FST, that being doing the manual labor for water mitigation, minor repairs, large repairs. We have some pretty significant projects we're working right now. From there, you can become a project manager to a project director, to a business development person. So there's plenty of room for growth. The company has grown 48% in the last 2 years. Overall, it's over a $3 billion company. So we're growing and we're acquiring a lot of smaller property restoration businesses, and which each acquisition opens up new opportunities. So the company encourages growth. It finds ways to help you grow. If you express interest in sitting in my chair, I'm going to make sure I help you get to where you can sit in my chair. And that goes for the company in general. That is the company's policy, is to allow everyone to excel and exceed in whatever it is that they want to do.
Beautiful. Shinar, would you mind putting your careers page link in the chat?
Most definitely.
And then Laura, did we have any questions?
That's all the questions. I just wanted to remind everybody, all guests are muted and not visible. Only panelists are visible and we can hear them. If you have any questions, please enter them into the chat box and we will announce them for you. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Cynthia Evans, who's the HR admin at C2 GPS, which is a contractor with Workforce Solutions for Tarrant County. Cynthia, you're up.
Well, good morning, everyone. As Brittany said, my name is Cynthia Evans. I'm Human Resources Administrator for C2 Global Professional Services, and we are a contract for Workforce Solutions for Tarrant County. Right now, we are sourcing for a couple of positions, approximately 8. So you can go on the c2gps.net/join our team, and that is a capital C. If you put a lower C, you'll get a whole different company. And if Laura can put that in the chat, that'd be great for me. Thank you. And so you can apply for our jobs. Right now, we are looking for a customer solutions rep, career center leads, career center supervisors. We're looking for business solutions people to join our family. So just like Stefan and Brittany do our business solutions and recruiting, their positions, we're hiring for positions where they currently work. So you'll be on their team. So I'm sure Stefan and Brittany, if you have questions particularly about those, can answer those much better than I can. I know some of the questions that you just asked Shinar, so hopefully I'll answer them so you don't have to re-ask them again to me. but you would go on the site, apply for the job. Once you do that, you'll be getting a call from myself, since I am HR, to schedule your interview. You meet with a panelist of 3, and it's kind of a round robin type of interview session. If selected, you come through our onboarding. The onboarding is virtual right now, and that also will be with me, where we discuss the policies and procedures. We do require a background check and a drug screen, as well as references, I'm sorry. So we do references checks as well. C2 Global GPS, again, we're a contractor. So you will work at Workforce Solutions, but you will not be a state employee. You will be an employee of C2 Global Professional Services.
Seeing a bunch of questions come in. All right, Cynthia, can you share opportunities for growth or career paths?
We have different paths. There's a lot of opportunity here. We are growing. We're actually in the middle of a reorganization, a realignment right now, where we are coming up with different departments in different portions. We have 5 centers, so there's a lot of growth there and opportunity there. We aren't going to be having a virtual team. It hasn't come to fruition yet, but it's on the horizon, and hopefully we can get that moving by the end of January, where we will have a virtual team. Right now, none of our positions are remote, but we will be coming up with a virtual team as well. So you may start off as a career solutions rep or a PST, which is basically helping the customers as they come in the door or on the phone, make sure they're in the right program, right? Get them to the right program, because a lot of people come through the door and don't know what type of help they need. So that would be part of your position, to let them know what we offer and see where you can help. And then you can go from there to a career advisor. And that is a person that has a caseload of people who they help through the process, whether it be work, whether it be training or TANF, SNAP, whatever needs you are, you have a counselor to guide you through there. And then we have lead positions, supervisors, management. So it's all the way up to, however far you want to go. There's always opportunity here. We're always growing. And so you have a lot of opportunity here. All you have to do is ask. We do hire internally a lot. We promote from within. I think more than a lot of companies do. We always look internally first before we go externally. And then if we don't have anybody internal that's interested, then we go externally.
Cynthia, do you guys have any remote positions?
We don't have any remote positions right now. We are working on a virtual team, like I said earlier, but that probably won't come to life until the end of January, Laura.
Thank you. And would you mind repeating the website, and I will enter that for everybody?
It's c2gps.net. That's a capital C, and then / join our team.
The number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Someone also asked if there are any marketing positions.
We do not currently have any marketing positions.
Cynthia, do you have any positions for someone with MPH, a public health practitioner, at the moment?
We don't have one at the moment, but we are looking to bring in some social works. So if you will email me at cynthia.evans@workforcesolutions.net, I can give you that information.
I see one more question, Cynthia. Will there ever be the possibility to become an official state employee?
That's on TWC, and you can apply at Texas Workforce. What is TWC? I just went out my head, Brittany. What's TWC? They can apply at TWC to be a state employee. We do work closely with them, and we do have state employees at the center. I don't do the hiring for that.
Yes, so if you would like to work for the state of Texas, you'll need to create an account on workintexas.com, and you'll need to fill out the state application, which is on there. And I'll put my email in the chat. You can send me a quick email. I'll give you more information on how to complete that.
Thank you, Brittany.
Cynthia, are there any PM positions?
Any what positions, I'm sorry?
I think they mean nighttime. Barry, do you mean nighttime positions? Oh, project management positions. Thank you.
Not at the moment. No, we don't have any project management positions.
That looks like all the questions for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
I'm also seeing a quick question about address location for the C2 positions. They're going to be all throughout Tarrant County. I'm going to share the workforcesolutions.net link, and you'll be able to see where all of our workforce centers are located throughout the county, okay? Alrighty, and then Cynthia, was there anything else that you wanted to share as far as like benefits or perks or just stuff we can't find on the website?
The benefits are at the bottom of the job description, but I could just tell you briefly, we do offer health, dental, 401k, tuition reimbursement, all of those. The unique thing about our 401k is that once you're hired, you're automatically enrolled at 1%. You can always change that, whether it be you don't want to participate or you want to participate even more of a percentage. But we have normal benefits everyone else. We even have pet insurance, so which I think is really unique. But we have that as well.
Cynthia, Kemp has asked how many positions you guys have available.
Right now, I have 10 positions available, and a couple of those positions have more than one opening.
Do you have any state or federal jobs?
No, that would be the work in Texas that Brittany talked about for the state, and federal, no.
And Brittany, if you guys look in the chat, she's posted the website.
And again, my email's in there. If you have inquiries about the state application, I can give you information on that. Laura, did you see any other questions?
That's all I see.
All right, beautiful. And Laura is going to put an email in the chat for additional questions or things that get left behind so we can make sure that those all get answered. Next up is going to be Cody. He is from Anton Cabinetry. Cody, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Here, Cody Schweitzer. I am the HR department here at Anton Cabinetry. We are located in Arlington, Texas. We're a small family business. We've got about 100 employees. Our main focus is we build cabinetry and millwork for big time commercial jobs. And so our niche is actually in the custom commercial world. So it's really cool, some stuff we do here. We've got a manufacturing facility that employs about 40 people. The roles that we have open there would be cabinet assemblers, some laminator positions, and solid surface fabricators. Really, if you have any technical skills or carpentry skills, we're interested in you for those positions. And then we've also got a current opening for somebody with some CAD design skills. So computer aided drafting, AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Cabinet Vision, those types of skill sets. That would be a salary position that we have open. As well as we've got a project manager role open at the moment and project coordinator role as well in our company. Just a little bit about who we are. Like I said, we're a small family business. We are pushing about 105 employees. We've been in business since 1974. Most of our business comes with the large scale commercial projects that happen in the DFW area. Benefits wise, we've got your typical benefits: health, dental, vision, 401k. We match at 6%, or I'm sorry, 3%, with an opportunity to match up 0.5% all the way up to 6%. Life insurance, all of that good stuff. Other things we've initiated and we started to bring in, we're in conversations with building apprenticeship programs with local community colleges and offering free ESL training to anybody that would need it. Those are conversations that are in place, and we're looking at getting those programs kicked off here in the new year.
Cody, can you speak a little bit more about requirements you're looking for the project coordinator position?
Project coordinator. So if you've got any project coordinator experience in the construction world, that's a really big, crucial part to that role, especially in cabinetry or cabinetry millwork. Those would be more of the focus. I'll dump our website into the chat here, and you guys can go to careers on there, and that will sum it up a lot more for you.
And then do you want to share a little bit about your onboarding process or what your hiring looks like?
Yeah, so onboarding, the initial process would be to make contact. So you're probably going to hear from me first. You have the ability to walk into our facility. We're located at 2002 West Pioneer Parkway in Pantego, Texas. But you're more than welcome to walk into our facility, grab an application. You can also fill out an application online. We're on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all of the good stuff there. But I'll reach out to you and connect with you via phone screen. And once we get past that point, it really depends on the role. If it's more of a technical skilled role in our manufacturing facility or install, we'll bring you in for an interview and a tour. And then after that point, we would make you an offer, and then just like the typical background check, drug screen options, that kind of stuff would follow in place. If it's more of a professional role like our project management or that project coordinator role, it would be very similar, except for our interview process would consist of a phone interview, phone screen with me, then a possible phone interview or a live interview with the hiring manager, and then a follow-up interview with our leadership team, our owner, and then potential with that hiring manager again.
Cody, are only U.S. citizens eligible, or candidates that also have a valid work authorization eligible as well?
Yeah, as long as you're credentialed and papered legally, we'll take a look at you.
And can you share the location of your organization again?
Yeah, I'll type it in the chat here.
Thank you.
Cody, can you share what a day in the life would look like and maybe in one of the project management roles that you were speaking about?
Yeah, you're gonna get to go sit on the beach and drink a margarita. Just kidding. That would be great, wouldn't it? It's never the same. It's a really fun position if you like something that's never the same. The project manager is kind of the lead on how we make money, essentially. So they're going to control all of our projects. They're going to be in contact with our vendors, with our customers, with our manufacturing department, with our operations team, with me, with our with everybody and anybody that would touch a project. So it could be something as simple as your morning might be you're out on site pulling measurements, and then maybe in the afternoon you've got a one-on-one meeting with our director of project management to, hey, you're on 5 different sites in a day, following up, having meetings with the general contractor, connecting with our operations, making sure deliveries are getting on time and product is getting installed. So there is not a normal typical day for a project manager in our company. Great question.
Hey, Cody, would you describe your organizational culture?
Yeah, you bet. It's a great company to work for. What I always tell people is we don't beat around the bush. We're very direct and honest to the point. We don't waste a lot of time with our communication. It's simple. So that I think that's the core of things. We are who we are. You get what you get. There's no hiding anything. We've got programs such as gain sharing where we share any profits that we make above if we outperform our sales. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or you were hired, at the lowest part of our business, maybe you make the least amount of money or you make the most amount of money. That gain sharing check is the same. It gets split equally across the department. So nobody is incentivized more or less. Nobody gets a bigger check. Everybody splits that bonus money equally. So I think that kind of talks directly to who we are. The owner of the company that started the business in 1974, I report directly to him. He is still here, and it's not a crazy day to see him interacting with a PM on a job site full of measurements, or actually out on the manufacturing floor helping assemble some cabinets and do some laminate. He just cares about his people, and it's like I said, there's no ducking or hiding. We are who we are, and we do what we do.
And then Cody, how many positions do you have available?
So that's a great question. I can say we probably have about 5 solid positions open. Our technical roles, like in manufacturing, that could change as of tomorrow. It could grow a little bit more than what we have. We've got we probably take about 2 or 3 on the manufacturing floor, but if our sales guys have a pretty hot day tonight, then we could have a need to build our production up a little bit more. So that number is not as stable, but I would say probably between about 5 to 7 openings at the moment.
And did you mention that if any of your positions were remote?
That's a great question. Something, like I said, this really does speak to who we are, direct and honest. It's something that as a company, we've really looked into to establish a hybrid or remote option for those positions that are available to do that, which would be like our engineering teams, CAD, drawing, project management, those types of roles. And so we are actually creating a program to establish standards and whatnot. And as of the new year, briefly after the new year, we want to have that set in place where we can build and create a hybrid option for people that want to use it. So we're not fully remote at the moment, but if you would join our team in the next 2 weeks, there would be options for you to perform a hybrid schedule, possibly fully remote, depending on the role, obviously.
Perfect. And then did you happen to go over any pathways, career pathways through your positions? Yeah,
so what's really cool is 2 of our project managers actually started with the company about 20 plus years ago as cabinet assemblers, and now they're at the top of the food chain. So you can really come into this business and work your tail off and really grow learning the business, and you can get up to the top pretty quick. We just promoted a few gentlemen and a lady yesterday to higher level roles on our manufacturing floor, and we're looking at internally promoting people that understand the ins and outs of our operations to even possibly office coordinator role and those types of things. So it's limitless. If you come in and you champion our culture and you show your value and worth, we've got probably 30 different examples walking the halls daily of how they've climbed and worked up and continue to move forward.
And will you share a little bit of what training looks like for your cabinet makers?
Yeah, great question. So our training, we do a lot of hands-on training with our cabinet assembly. So we'll take someone that maybe has no skill sets at all, or maybe they've never touched manufacturing for cabinet assembly, and we'll pair them up with some of our, like I just said, champions, and you'll work side by side. They'll walk you through the process, the OJT, all of that good stuff. And we normally incentivize it too. So we might offer you an hourly rate of X amount of dollars, and then after 30 days, we'll bump your salary another $1 an hour plus. So we really try to motivate people to grow and learn and ask those questions. And as you grow in the cabinet assembly world, we do custom cabinetry. So similar to those project managers, if you're one of those people that you don't want to do the monotonous same thing day in after day, we don't build the same thing every day here. It's always different. It's always unique. And so we get we'll take the cabinet assemblers and we'll roll them over to a custom bench, and you'll start to work that way and grow that way, where it's reading prints, understanding those designs, and understanding that what you're building is not going to be the same tomorrow. So those opportunities are there as well. And with that, we've had a couple gentlemen in our business move forward from just the custom cabinet assembly to our automation. So we've got CNC technology here, and we've got we're probably one of the more automated shops that builds cabinetry. And so with that, we need technicians that can run the robots, and we've had some guys step up and learn that and move forward with that process. And that's very similar to the cabinet assembly role. So you just jump in with one of our guys that's been doing it for a while, and we grow you through the process, and we're putting training behind that daily. It's a continuous conversation here, and it's something we want to keep investing in.
Cody, what can candidates expect to see for starting pay?
Yeah, so the lowest we'll pay anybody is $15 an hour, and that would mean you would come to us with zero experience. You're fresh. You haven't done anything in the manufacturing world, and then obviously the salary goes up from there. To give you a range, probably on average, our technically trained people are somewhere between the $17 to $25 range an hour, and then as you get into the office positions, there's salary positions and whatnot, and our salary positions probably range from about 57,000 to 6 figures.
Cody, is there full-time and or part-time positions?
Currently, we're looking at just full-time. When the summer hits, sometimes we'll look at adding some part-time roles, but the way sales look and our production schedules, it doesn't make a ton of sense for us at this moment to have part-time openings, but it is something that we would probably offer maybe in the spring, summer months as we pick up. But currently everything we have now is full-time. And full-time plus. So if you like to, work overtime, the average work week here is about 47 hours a week.
Sifting through these, these are not seasonal, correct, Cody? These are ongoing.
These are, yep. If you join with us, we're gonna offer you benefits. You're gonna join our team. We're gonna invest in you.
All right, perfect. So I have 3 or 4 questions that I want to open up to all the employers. So if you all want to chime in, that would be perfect. So starting off is going to be, what are important skills that you're looking for in applicants, and what are the most difficult skills to find in applicants, if you could share that. So the most important and the most difficult in potential candidates.
I'll start off. Most important is just someone willing to give it their all. We're very family oriented. We're a large company, but this, and kind of what Cody said, we started off small, we built along the way. A lot of our folks in executive leadership positions have known each other for 25, 30 years. And it's a very outgoing company, or very outgoing staff. We have a lot of fun. We like to laugh. So we're looking for laid back people at the same time that are willing to work. So for me, as particularly in the contact center, you can have some contact center experience, or you can have none at all. Our entry level salary is 16 to 18. Our supervisors make 28 to 32 an hour. The communications managers, their salaries between 19 and 21. The project manager salaries are about their salary that are around 70 to 75. And that's here in the command center. Our field service techs, kind of the same mentality. If you have no experience in construction at all, you definitely come in willing to help. The starting salary for that is around $18 an hour. If you have experience, it's between 19 to 21 entry level, and then depending on experience, it can go from there. The hardest skill for, I would say more so for the field service tech side and the project management side, for our Farmers Branch office, is individuals with experience in mold remediation and the use of the product called Xactimate, because we do a lot of estimates for projects, and so we use the Xactimate product to create these estimates so that we can submit them to the client. So if someone has that, that's awesome. It's a little hard to train. It takes a while to become proficient. So that's probably one of the most difficult skills. Outside of that, the company is very willing to allow you to grow. I mean, we've hired people with absolutely no experience and folks with plenty of experience, and both of them have risen up in the ranks. And we, like I said, I always look for people who will sit in my chair someday. So we want people to grow. We want people to give their best. If you give your best, we're going to give it back to you and then some. So we, that, I would say that would be our answer to those two questions for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with Shinar. We're looking for somebody with personality. We deal with the public, so I really am looking for people that have a good personality, a friendly personality, a great bedside manner, if you will, because we deal with the public in our community, and everyone's in a different situation. So you really need to be able to understand and have empathy for the people that walk in our doors. I think the hardest thing about this job, or all of our jobs, would be the adaptability to change. We are always changing. The rules change by the state, the rules change federally, the rules change, and we're always changing. And it's for the better, because we're trying to grow and provide bigger and better services. The individual skill sets would probably be by position. And so since I don't work directly with all of the positions, I couldn't tell you what the technical skill set is. But from a personal standpoint, I think those would be the two things. Our entry level jobs start at $18 an hour. And again, if you're willing to learn, if you're ready to learn, if you're open to learn new things and open to change, then we want you to be a part of our team.
I'm going to echo most of what they said, but generally speaking, I think the most important skill that we're looking for is communication. And that's the hardest one to find, it seems. And so being able to communicate is so important. Showing up on time, being here, we can take care of the rest. We can invest in you and turn you into a high level cabinet assembler, a CNC operator, a project manager. But those things have to be taken care of first. If you can't communicate with us, it's probably not a fit for you. And so I think generally speaking, we could talk through different roles, but what we kind of have adopted as our hiring process is when we find talent, what we're looking for is the fit part first. Do they fit our company? Do they fit with that culture, to that piece that I talked to earlier, the no BS, we're direct, we're honest, we're not going to hide feelings or anything. It's just, this is who we are, in that communication side. And if those boxes are checked, then we're going to look and see, you know, the talent, the skill of that person and move forward.
Cody, while you have the mic, there is a question for you. Does your company offer childcare benefits?
By what are we talking there? We do offer like health benefits for family or dependents, but we don't have like a childcare on site, if that's what you're asking for, or pay for childcare services. That's something we don't offer.
Thank you. Alvina, if you had a more specific question regarding childcare, please re-enter that into the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, so another question open to all three of you. Are you second chance employers? Are you open to folks who have any type of background?
Yes, we are. It's a case-by-case basis. Everything is reviewed, but we are a second chance employer.
We're very limited in that due to the type of work that we do and the governmental agencies and buildings that we have to go into. So I would say we would be less likely, but if you know, if someone is really interested and want to forward me your resume, I'll certainly look at it and speak with our HR partner to see if that's something that can be worked with. But just the nature of what we do, working with public safety and government buildings and et cetera, it's very limited.
We are case by case as well.
And if attendees from this event apply to your positions, do you want us to send you an email? Do you have an area to enter that whenever they apply? You speak a little bit about that.
For first on site, when you applied, it'll ask you how you heard about the role, so you can put it there. Otherwise, you feel free. I will add my email address right now. Feel free to let me know that you applied so I can have the hiring manager pull your resume and let them know that you attended a job fair.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, so you can fill out that you heard about us here. Depending on the different avenues, when you go in to fill out an application with us, I will get that notification electronically. And like I said, you're more than welcome to show up at our website or at our physical location and talk with me. We will definitely make time. And if I can't talk to you, then I'll get you an application and make sure I follow up on it.
Erica's asked a question about driver's license and education. I'll go ahead and hop on that. It depends on the position. I mean, you do need to get to work. So however you get to work, that's completely on you. However, if you do apply for the field service tech positions, because we go all throughout Texas to work on jobs, there may be some requirements to have a driver's license so that you can drive our trucks. And highest education, right now, high school education is what most of our jobs require. Outside of that, any other degrees or whatever that are pointed towards a specific career path can just be a plus, but not a requirement.
All of our jobs require as well minimum high school education. That's the minimum for all of our jobs as well. It does go higher from there, but the minimum is high school. Driver's license is not necessarily required, but like Shinar said, you have to get to work. So we will be working on that. But if you are asked to go, sometimes you will be asked to go from a center to a center. And then we'll be asking you, to make sure you have a driver's license for that. If you don't, then we'll just make sure you're not one of those people that we ask. But it's not a requirement, no.
So on that note, do you all know if you are close to a bus line for folks to take public transit to get to work?
We are in Fort Worth, and we're not far from the zoo. So I think it's maybe a 2-block walk from the bus stop that I see. I don't take the bus, but I've seen the bus. And so I think it's about a 2-block walk, but we are not far from the Fort Worth Zoo. That's one of our locations. And then we have other locations I know that are definitely on the bus line. And I know of one far north in Alliance. They do have a bus line. It doesn't run all the time. And I'm not sure how long the commute is, but I do know they have some car pay services that will take you from that last stop on that north line to wherever you want to go. So that would be something you'd have to look up.
I can honestly say I have not been in Texas or this area long enough to swear by anything. So I did leave you my email address. If you want for me to do a deep dive and figure that out for you, just let me know and I will. I would venture to say that potentially our Dallas office does have some accessibility, but again, I can't swear by anything, so I don't want to mislead anybody, but I will do the research if you need it.
I don't believe we are located in Arlington. There's not a ton of bus lines here, so unfortunately, we're not very close to any bus lines.
Okay, I just want to touch base with all the attendees. Inquiring about email addresses, they are all throughout the chat. So please visit the chat and you will find all of the employer email addresses. And then there was another question, are all of these, correct me if I'm wrong, employers, but all of the positions are open until filled? Yeah. There isn't like a 2-week opening or anything. They're going to be open until filled. So
all of our positions are open.
Go ahead and apply.
Filled. That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And then Laura, I know we're getting buried, but do you see any more questions?
I have a gentleman for all of the panelists. Other than getting a paycheck, what is the most enjoyable thing about going to work every day in your organization?
I will say I've been in public safety for a little over 20 years. Always been known as a first responder for 20 years. And our company, I jokingly call them the next responder. Because once public safety leaves, we come in and help to bring some calm to the chaos that the person that has called us is having to deal with. And so no matter who they are in this company, if you ask someone why they love what they do, it's because we allow people to bring some part of their life back to whole, whether it's a business or a resident going through a difficult situation. We try to bring them that comfort to bring them back to whole. And we do it together. Every step of the company works together to make sure that, per se, when we hand you back the keys, you walk back in and it looks exactly the way it did or should look after whatever the disaster was. And so that's a very rewarding job for us, that we are able to give back to our communities, both on a residential basis and a business basis after they have gone through a difficult time.
And I think for working for Workforce Solutions of Tarrant County, outside of getting a paycheck, you're giving back to your community. We change lives. What we do, we help people in our communities get back on their feet with job resources, training, childcare help, food stamps, whatever they need. We really are Tarrant County's best kept secret. because a lot of people don't know we're here, but once they get into the system, we help them transform themselves from where they were to where they want to be.
It's a great question. I was in an interview yesterday with about 6 other team members, and we all said something different when that question was asked. For me, it's the people. There's some awesome characters that I get to work with every day here, and I interact with everybody. And so there's always a chance that you're going to get a laugh out of someone. A couple other things that were said amongst my peers were the ownership, the honesty, the support that they give their team. Another thing that was discussed was the product that we produce. It's extremely custom. Our quality and design is the best, and we can walk in the actual physical structures and say, yeah, we did that. That's us. We own that. So that actual production of a high quality product that is going to be seen by millions of people is something that we really pride ourselves on as well. So beyond the paycheck, those were a few of the things that have been shared with me.
Laura, were there any other good questions that you saw in the chat come through?
Those are all the questions that I am seeing. I will also add the email address, an info email address. If you have any questions that were not answered during this chat, please send your email to that address and we will get back to you that way.
I'd also like to remind everyone that the session has been recorded and will be up on our YouTube channel so that you can review all the information that was shared today by our employers. So if that is all and no one else has any pressing questions, then I would like to thank our employers for attending and all of our attendees for the great interactions today. And we're going to wrap up. So we're coming in a little bit early. And I'd like to thank you all for your time.